Many Hunter x Hunter fans wonder why Isaac Netero, the formidable chairman of the Hunter Association, didn't call upon the Zodiacs, the elite group of the world's strongest hunters, for the high-stakes Chimera Ant extermination mission. On the surface, it might seem like an oversight or plot hole, especially given the overwhelming threat posed by Meruem, the Chimera Ant King, and his royal guards. But a closer look reveals this was no mistake by creator Yoshihiro Togashi. It was a calculated narrative choice rooted in strategy, politics, character depth, and thematic consistency. The operation wasn't a full-scale war or brute force assault. Netero designed it as a precise surgical strike. His goal was to confront Meruem in single combat, while a small support team distracted and isolated the royal guards, Yuppie, Poof, and Pitu. The team consisted of hand-picked individuals like Morel, Knov, Knuckle, Shoot, Palm, Gon, and Killua. Their role was containment and disruption, not direct confrontation with the king. Netero wanted a personal duel, a test of his own limits, and a way to face the ultimate challenge on his terms. Bringing an army of top hunters, including the Zodiacs, would have turned it into a chaotic battlefield, undermining the intimate philosophical battle Netero sought. This setup allowed for the iconic moments we love: the Rose Bomb, the King's evolution, and the humanizing interactions that follow. A larger force would have diluted the tension and shifted the story away from individual will and sacrifice. The Chimera Ant crisis unfolded against a delicate global backdrop involving the V5, the world's 5 major powers, and internal Hunter Association politics, particularly Pariston's influence. Public knowledge of the ants was limited at first. A massive deployment of hunters could have leaked the threat, causing widespread panic, economic disruption, or even international accusations against the association. Netero favored a low-profile approach: handle the infestation discreetly in the NGL, Neo-Green Life, autonomous region, contain the spread, and eliminate the king without drawing global attention. Pariston and certain political forces played subtle games behind the scenes, involving the Zodiacs. High-profile figures who serve as the chairman's direct advisors might have escalated the situation politically or forced unwanted oversight. In short, winning quietly was the priority. The Zodiacs are powerful, but they're also visible symbols of the association. Their absence kept the mission under the radar, aligning with Netero's pragmatic leadership style. Netero wasn't just being stubborn or prideful. He specifically chose allies whose abilities complemented a stealthy, hit-and-run strategy. Knav's hide and seek and Morel's comic deep purple created a pocket dimension trap, allowing them to lure ants one by one, or in small groups, for quick, clean eliminations. This combo enabled surgical precision that a larger, louder group couldn't match without alerting Meruem prematurely. The Zodiacs, while incredibly strong, operate at a different scale. Some are more suited to exploration, politics, or specialized fields rather than covert extermination. Deploying them might have made the operation too conspicuous, or shifted the power dynamics in ways Netero didn't want. Additionally, Netero viewed the mission as potentially suicidal. He was prepared to die facing Meruem and didn't want to drag the association's absolute best into what could become a total wipeout. The smaller team accepted higher personal risk in exchange for control and secrecy. It's not a plot hole, it's intentional. Togashi uses this decision to explore key themes: the individual versus collective power. Netero's solo mindset highlights how raw strength and willpower can achieve what overwhelming force cannot. Sacrifice and hubris. The chairman's choices reflect his philosophy and flaws, leading to both triumph and tragedy. Subtlety over spectacle. The Chimera Ant arc thrives on psychological layers, moral ambiguity, and unexpected alliances. A Zodiac-filled brawl would have made it a generic shonen battle royale instead of the masterpiece it is. Later, during the chairman election arc, the Zodiacs themselves express frustration about being sidelined. This reaction feels authentic. They're the best, yet they weren't needed in the way one might expect. It adds realism to the world building. Even the strongest aren't always the right tool for every job. Far from a writing error, Netero's decision not to involve the Zodiacs against Meruem is one of Togashi's smartest moves. It serves the plot, deepens the characters, respects the political intrigue of the Hunter x Hunter universe, and keeps the focus on intimate, high-stakes drama rather than an all-out war. The mission succeeded, at a terrible cost, because it was tailored perfectly. Not because it ignored the association's elite. If anything, It proves Togashi's careful planning. Every choice has layers, and what seems like a miss often reveals brilliant world logic upon re-examination. If you're a fan rewatching the arc, pay attention to the small team dynamics and political undertones. It makes the story even more satisfying. Now let's talk about the current arc and what role the Zodiacs have. You know, we've been waiting forever for more chapters. And yes, they are coming. But the Succession Contest arc, also called the Succession War arc, is still one of the most ambitious, layered, and downright insane storylines Yoshihiro Togashi has ever written. This arc is massive. It's been running for years in the manga, and it takes place almost entirely on the enormous Black Whale, a luxury cruise ship built by the Kakin Empire that's carrying over 200,000 passengers toward the Forbidden Dark Continent. At its core, the Succession Contest is a deadly battle royale for the Kakin throne. King Nasubihueguo-Ru has 14 princes and princesses, and only one can become the next ruler. But this isn't a normal succession. It's governed by ancient Nen rituals, guardian spirit beasts that each prince awakens, brutal assassinations, political alliances, mafia families, and hidden curses. The ship is divided into tiers, from the ultra-luxury upper decks for the royals down to the chaotic lower levels where regular passengers and criminals mix. Add in the Phantom Troop hunting Hisoka, Kurapika protecting a young prince while chasing the Scarlet Eyes and currently part of the Zodiacs, secret organizations scheming in the shadows, and you've got one of the most complex political thrillers in all of shonen manga. But what ties everything together and keeps the stakes sky high for the Hunter Association is the role of the Zodiacs. These are the elite 12 hunters personally selected by the late chairman Isaac Netero as his counsel, and even his sparring partners. They're not just the strongest or most skilled, they're the de facto leaders who step up when the association needs direction, especially after Netero's death in the Chimera Ant arc. Following that tragedy, the Hunter Association is in transition, and the Zodiacs are right at the center of managing the chaos while preparing for the dangerous expedition to the Dark Continent. Their mission is huge. They have to escort and monitor a major threat while trying to bring back valuable resources for humanity, without letting everything spiral out of control. Let's break down some of the key Zodiacs and how they fit into this arc. First, Ging Freaks. Gon's mysterious, super-talented dad is one of the most free-spirited and unpredictable members. Ging has always marched to his own drum, and in the succession contest, he's not super invested in the prince's drama on the ship. Instead, his eyes are locked on the bigger prize, reaching the Dark Continent and uncovering its ancient secrets and ruins. He often butts heads with the other Zodiacs because of his lone wolf style and tendency to disappear or act without consulting anyone. Yet his genius intellect and raw power make him incredibly valuable. His complicated father-son relationship with Gon still lingers in the background, adding emotional weight even if Gon isn't front and center anymore. Then there's Pariston Hill, the rat and former vice-chairman. If Ging is chaotic neutral, Pariston is chaotic evil with a permanent creepy smile. This guy thrives on manipulation, drama, and watching people squirm. He genuinely enjoys creating conflict and seeing how everyone reacts when things fall apart. In this arc, Pariston's schemes often run counter to the official Hunter Association plans. He loves stirring the pot, and his rivalry with Ging is absolute gold. The two represent completely opposite philosophies, even though they're both elite Zodiacs. Their back-and-forth banter and mind games are some of the most entertaining parts of the story. A massive figure tied to the Zodiacs and the entire Dark Continent expedition is Beyond Netero, Isaac Netero's son. Beyond is ambitious, incredibly powerful, and carries his father's legendary legacy like a heavy weight. He's the one who originally pushed hard for the voyage to the Dark Continent, and his presence creates constant tension. The Zodiacs are basically tasked with both supporting the expedition and keeping Beyond in check, because his goals might not line up perfectly with what the V5 or the Association wants. At one point, Beyond even allows himself to be captured or monitored by the Zodiacs, knowing full well they'll end up escorting him anyway. Some Zodiacs are more loyal or cooperative with him, while others stay extremely wary of his true intentions and hidden allies. After Netero's death and some key departures, the Zodiac lineup shifts. Ging and Pariston actually step down from the Zodiacs during this period, and new members join. including fan favorites Leorio and Kurapika, who bring their own skills and motivations into the mix. Leorio gets to study under Cheadle as a medical-focused hunter, while Kurapika dives deep into the Succession War as a bodyguard, using his incredible Nen abilities and strategic mind to protect Prince Wobble and pursue his own goals. The rest of the Zodiacs handle the practical side of things on the Black Whale. Cheadle Yorkshire, the dog and current chairwoman, focuses on leadership, medical, and disease-related issues. Miza Istum Nana, the ox, a crime hunter, is one of the most active, constantly investigating threats, keeping tabs on the princes, the mafia families, the phantom troop, and trying to prevent total anarchy. Bodabai Gigante, the dragon, brings serious power and experience as a terrorist hunter, while others like Pion, Ginta, Sacho, Gel, Kanzai, and Cluck divide responsibilities into teams handling politics, flora, fauna, science, and more. Together, the Zodiacs act as the crucial bridge between the Hunter Association's rules and the absolute chaos unfolding during the Prince's Succession War. Some operate with strict order and investigation, while others, especially Ging and Pariston even after leaving, bring freedom, unpredictability, and personal agendas. Togashi uses them brilliantly to explore deep themes: the weight of legacy, the nature of power, loyalty versus self-interest, and how heroes in the hunter world are often just people chasing their own ambitions. As the Black Whale continues its long journey, the body count rises with awakened Nen beasts, assassinations, and escalating conflicts. The decisions made by the Zodiacs could decide not only who claims the Kakin throne, but also what dangers or treasures humanity actually brings back from the forbidden Dark Continent. The constant tension between structured order from the Association and the wild chaos from individual players like Ging and Pariston makes every chapter feel unpredictable and endlessly compelling. This arc is dense, slow burn in the best way, full of twists, and it rewards readers who pay attention to every detail. It's why so many fans call it one of the peak arcs in the series, even if it's still ongoing. What do you think? Who's your favorite Zodiac and why? Ging, Pariston, Mizaistum, or maybe one of the newer additions like Kurapika in that role? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let me know if you want a deeper breakdown on specific princes, Nen abilities, or how this all connects to the Dark Continent calamities. If you enjoyed this, smash that like button, subscribe for more Hunter x Hunter deep dives and theories, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss when new chapters drop or when I cover the next big topic. Thanks for watching, stay hyped for the manga's return, and I'll see you in the next video.